What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sir Dre. Back today, we're going to talk a little NBA basketball. We're going to talk about the NBA season awards after what is an interesting season this year. We had some historic moments with James Harden, Russ getting another triple-double for 3 consecutive seasons. That's flipping incredible. So we're going to talk about the awards and who should get what. This is just my opinion. We're going to start off with the easy ones first, or what I think are the easy ones. Coach of the Year, I think should be Mike, Budenholzer from the Milwaukee Bucks. What he did this year with that team was phenomenal. They got the best record in the East, the best record overall this season in the NBA, so he definitely should get that. So that's a no-brainer with that. Most improved player, there's a couple people I think that could deserve this award. First one that came to my mind was D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo, I thought, did phenomenal this year. Out there in Brooklyn, to me, Brooklyn is like the land of misfit toys, like the people that nobody hardly wanted anything to do with. They got over there and Brooklyn did fairly well. So I think D'Angelo should be in consideration for most improved player this season. But the player who has made a vast improvement is Pascal Siakam. Dude just made an incredible leap between last year and this year. Last year, his stats were 7.3 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2 assists, and he shot 62% from the free throw line. This season, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and almost a steal a game. And his free throw percentage went up to 79%. If that doesn't say most improved, I don't know what does. So I think he should wind up getting most improved player. My sixth man, who else but Lou Will? You know, Lou Will's coming up off the bench and just doing the thing. You know, we're so used to seeing Jamal Crawford do this. Jamal Crawford could have started in the NBA easily, but that man came off the bench and was just racking up 6th Man of the Year awards. This year, hands down, Lou Will should be 6th Man of the Year. That's not even up for debate. Nobody comes close to Lou Will this year. Now, Defensive Player of the Year, it's a few names. Well, I'm thinking of 2. That Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert, who probably will win it, and Giannis. Giannis actually did a pretty good job on defense this year. I think the Bucks had the #1 defense in the NBA this year. They were tough to score against. Obviously, they have the league's best record, and their defense was a big part of that. But Giannis definitely improved on the defensive end. He averaged 1.5 blocks this season, which is crazy because I like Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis averages over 2 blocks a game. So, but we all know what was going on with AD and the drama down in New Orleans once he requested to be traded. But Gobert, right now he's an anchor on defense in the NBA. He's a rim protector. You're not going to get many easy buckets against Rudy. So I think Rudy is going to end up getting Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis, depending on how they vote, Giannis could sneak up and get it. That would be interesting to see. Paul George was also in the mix, and Miles Turner from Indiana was also in the mix. So we'll see how they go with that. But whoever gets it, obviously they earned it. But you can't sleep on Kawhi Leonard. Like, Kawhi right now may be the best 2-way player in the NBA. That boy gives you offense and defense, game in, game out. So, but I hadn't heard his name being mentioned in that. But Kawhi is always definitely, to me, in consideration to be Defensive Player of the Year. Then next, now these last 2, probably controversial because people lean so many different ways. The next one we're going to talk about is Rookie of the Year. And when you say that this season, obviously you think about Luka and you think about Trae Young. And what's crazy is they were traded for each other on draft night, and when that happened, when Dallas drafted Trae Young, I was like, well, they already have DJ Smith. Where does that leave DJ? But they traded him for Luka, and I didn't know much about Luka until he started playing, and Luka is nice. His stats for this season were 21 points, 7.8 boards, 6 assists, and 1 steal a game. Crazy good for a rookie. And Trae Young is 19 points, 3.7 boards, 8.1 assists a game. Now, Trae Young had a strong second half of this season. And if I had to pick a rookie of the year between Trae Young and Luka, honestly, I don't think I could do it. I think they should be co-rookie of the years this year. Jason Kidd and Grant Hill did it. They were phenomenal rookies, and you see they were great players in the long run. I think in this case, Luka and Trae should be co-rookie of the years. To me, there's nothing wrong with co, because to me they're so close, and what they did this season was good. It's like Luka averaged more points per game, but Trae averaged 2 more assists a game, and Luka averaged more rebounds too. But the impact that these players have for their teams as rookies, were really good. I just think they should be co-rookie of the years, and it's nothing wrong with having 2 people win the award. Absolutely. And now we got the MVP. A lot of people feel like Giannis should get MVP, and it wouldn't be anything wrong with that. I'm one of the people who think James Harden is the MVP this year. I think 2 years ago, him and Russell Westbrook should have been co-MVPs. That's the first year that Russ got he averaged a triple-double for a season, which, you can't sneeze at that. But my argument for James Harden that year was his team had more wins, and I think he was only about averaging 1.5 to 2 rebounds a game away from averaging a triple-double himself that season. So I think he should have been the co-MVP that year with Russell Westbrook. But James did win MVP last year, and I think he should be MVP again this year. He averaged 36 points, 6.6 boards, 7.5 assists, and 2 steals. And Giannis is 27.7 points, 12.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.5 blocks per game, which is a great stat line. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with either player being MVP. It's just James Harden and Chris Paul went out this year, put that team on his back, and I can't say Houston didn't lose a beat, but they still were fighting, and they were teetering most of the season. But Harden just put that string of 30-plus points a game together, and I can't tell you how Houston wins basketball games when they play isolation basketball like that. It baffles me how they do it. But when you have a player like James Harden who just can do what he's been doing this season, it's like, how can you not win? Does he do some illegal steps with his step back? Yeah, from time to time he does. But man, it's like, what's coming. How can you not, defend it better, But that's just what makes him so special. Like, man, the man can get buckets just about any type of way, and like that man, he should be the MVP this year. This is just my opinion. Now, if you're on the Giannis side, I have no problem with that. Giannis is an MVP this year, definitely. His team has the best record overall in the NBA, and that's nothing to sneeze at. One player that I think should be considered but absolutely will not, and people probably might laugh at this, is Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin had one of the best seasons he's had statistically in his career, and nobody's really looked at it because the Pistons were an 8th seed in the East. But Blake really really helped the Pistons this year. No Blake, no playoffs probably this year for the Pistons. That's just what it is. He added his first full season with the Pistons. He was the reason we got into the playoffs, and I think he should have been MVP consideration. He wouldn't have won it because they were an 8th seed, but he definitely played some of the best basketball he has of his career this year. But that's all I have for you. And we want to go back over Coach of the Year, Mike Budenholzer. Most Improved, Pascal Siakam. Sixth Man, Lou Will. Defensive Player, more than likely Rudy Gobert, but I kind of hope Giannis can get that instead of getting the MVP. Rookie of the Year, I think it should be a tie between Luka and Trae Young, and MVP should be James Harden. All right, y'all, that's all I got for you today. Till we meet again, just remember, it's all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits. Peace.